You are your greatest fear. You are your worst enemy. You are the devil. I haven't been always somebody who's confident or proud, or even somebody that said that they could feel beautiful about themselves. It took death for me to become the person that I dreamed that I would be, and it never came easy. I clawed and I drug myself through the mud and I fought just to get here. When I was a kid, I was so into how life was so unpredictable. I was so intrigued by elements and color and connection with other human beings. One of the first heartbreaks I ever felt was there was this girl named Chloe, and I really thought that she was like my best friend at the time. And I remember that she disappeared one day and I never heard from her. It's not like I had a phone back then. I remember we watched 13 Going on 30. And it was such a close bond, but so quickly it was gone. And maybe we had rekindled that later on, but it was never the same as I thought it would be. And a lot of this journey of growth, especially as a person of like a transsexual, transgender experience, you never know what is on the horizon or how different your life is going to be in oh so many years. I used to be the kind of person that was desperate, form a sort of connection to escape myself. There was this deep darkness inside my body, something that I couldn't connect to, something that I tried to mitigate through the outside world. Maybe I was just looking for something. Maybe I was just looking for a way to be. I remember I always wanted to be beautiful. I always wanted to feel attainable, like someone could reach out and touch me if I was good enough, if I was special enough. Never that I was worth it to be the title card of something, but I just wanted to be good enough to be chosen. I had a fantasy of mine that somebody would want to cheat on their spouse with me because I had little to no self-confidence. I was in such a way to where I would beg people to be around me, beg people to like me. I would go for people and go towards relationships and friendships where it was never on equal terms. Every time I asked for something, I would go through something so rigorous. I would go through a rigorous transformation. I would lose a friend. I would be put into a situation I never thought could even happen even. It was so interesting because by the end of it, I would find this courage to finally change something within myself. And I realized what I was missing was I didn't need these events to change me. I didn't need someone in the outside world to show me who I was supposed to be or how I was supposed to act. I had to find that within myself. I had to be the deciding factor in every situation. It only could be me. And I don't know when I discovered that. Maybe it was a few years ago. I remember it came to this point where I lost all my friends again because I couldn't stay in stable relationships, especially with groups. I took everything personally. As well as I think that I'm a misunderstood person in general, and I do want the general best case scenario for everyone, but that doesn't always happen. And I have made some crazy mistakes in my life. I've done things that are like way far off from my moral values. But what I realized what these expressions were was a call for help and showing me, visually showing it to other people, the pain that I was in. This was when I learned that people who are mean or harsh or cruel or messed up, social outcasts, these people are people that are in pain. And it's no wonder that we have people all over the world. We have people on the streets that are showing visibly their inner pain. And that's a big case for a lot of people that are in the mental health crises or people that are in going and getting put into mental hospitals. Like, it's an internal pain and it's also a dissonance with our reality. I've experienced this firsthand. I know what it's like. And I wouldn't even call myself lucky to be someone who is able to transform themselves time and time again. I was shown this through transitioning, really, wanting to become my full authentic self. This was that other thing. This was that hole that I was trying to fill, to experience life fully as myself. It wasn't about looking like a woman or being perceived like a woman in society. It was, I am a woman. internally, in my full truth, I am. And it's never questioned now. And I had to have surgery to get to this point. And people may judge me and they may say, like, oh, well, you had surgery and like you're ruining your body, or you don't know yourself and like you're confused. No one's actually ever told me that I was confused, actually, which is kind of funny. Okay, here's the validation thing again. But I I think one thing that's a common denominator for me is I fully express myself through the expression of the body and of the self and of the mind. I've been lost. And even more so recently, I felt lost as well. I didn't know what I was doing. I had started social media like March last year, but I had always wanted to do it before, you know? So for me, it's been like 5 years of doing this, wanting it, and then finally trying to go for it. At first, I really thought I wanted to be predominantly a spiritual teacher, but then I had this gnawing, this aching, this hunger to do art. So I've mostly been switching over, but I also still do like to talk about my growth as a human being. My spiritual path, you know, for me, a lot of it is more private, but I do love talking about how I've grown as a human in the material plane, like what I've gone through and experienced that changed me to become this person now. And I'm so grateful. I used to be the kind of person that never trusted the people that said that they loved me. It was to this point where I was so low in my self-concept, the ego had fully taken over. So I couldn't trust people that had loved me, because how could anybody love a person like me? Because I'm so special. See, it's the other way around. Instead of the ego saying that you're so special, you're so great, nothing can touch you, the ego told me that I was lesser than nothing, lesser than the average person. I was a nobody. I was disgusting. I don't deserve to be alive. That's how the ego can trick us. And so when we're on this path of growth, that's one of the necessary steps, is encountering the personality. And you don't just have one personality. People always kind of, and I've seen this a lot. It doesn't matter what people do. I envision this a lot, the ego as this construct, as one thing, but it's actually so many different things, so many different facets of you, of so many of your lives. I listened to a lecture recently that really put it into perspective for me. It's multiple eyes. There's a me when I'm going to my part-time job. There's a me when I'm writing my book. There's a me when I'm going on a walk. There's a me driving my car. These are all different personalities that are embodied. You know, your friends that have road rage in the car, but you think are so docile in their regular life. Do you know the true them? And so what's important about this is that you can become the kind of person that can observe the body, the self, and the mind all at once, while also exhibiting a higher capacity of understanding and also upgrading. It's about being the kind of person that can see through your barriers. That's who I had to become to get out of those places. And it becomes so physical and painful and so in your face that you don't want to see anything anymore. You want it to completely disappear. I used to start things, destroy them, and it was never taken from me because I would do it before someone else could do it to me. I would ghost people, I would block people, and then I would get blocked and ghosted again at the same time. And I would be like, well, why is this still happening? Like, why am I still attracting these things? Because I am those things. You are your greatest fear. You are your worst enemy. You are the devil. But in that same facet, you are an angel. You are the God. But what if the true self was in that middle pillar? Why do you think the third eye is in the middle of our head and not somewhere else? It's the division. It's where our two eyes intersect. It's like in Adventure Time when Peppermint Butler opens the portals to another world. I know he goes to hell, but think about it like that. Because when you are inverting this image of yourself and of your ideation, it is the trueness of it. That's what neutrality is. And everything is on a pendulum swinging this way or the other way. That's why I don't partake in politics, because it's always swinging. And that's why me as a transgender experienced transsexual, I really see myself just as a natural woman, but for sakes and purposes of being a human being on this planet, in my experience, whatever, that is the perspective. And like whether people like trans people or understand the journey of this experience or not, doesn't matter. It's about you. your growth as a human being. It's not about the world. And when you can finally disconnect from that, you actually help save the world and guide us towards a better future because it's created from within each individual human being. When you embody these core principles, you're able to express that and you show it to other people that it's possible. That's why teachers, and that's why we see people rising up and awakening and all of these things, and people are acting strange because they're being influenced by higher sources. They're being influenced by other people that are choosing to wake up in this time. This is a great time, you guys. We can do it. And you can change. And so when I say that, like, I've been through all of these things and I've gotten better, I mean it. And I am so proud of myself. And I know that if I can do this, I can express to you that maybe you can too. Because listen, you can fail at this, but that doesn't mean that you won't succeed. Growth is cyclical. It's not linear. You're always going to end up right back at the part that made you change. And then that's what's going to make you rise even higher. Okay? Just because you fall down on the path doesn't mean that it's still set out for you. It's continuously being built and rebuilt. And so what I've learned especially is that I will never be perfect. And I am okay with that. I am so grateful. I became the kind of person that didn't need to heal anymore. I wasn't broken. And all of these things that were coming into my life and changing me and hurting me and causing me pain, how much loss I've been through, how much I've gained, and how none of it matters. And all that matters is you in this present moment as you are. It's infamy. It's infamy. It's infinity. Thanks for listening. Hi, my name is Sydney Taylor. I'm currently writing my first debut novel, Unnatural Elements. I also write blogs on my Substack, and I'm trying to bring back Tumblr. I'm kind of getting into Tumblr again. And also, I love making content on Instagram. I've been doing a lot of skits. So bye. If you've been listening, you better hit that subscribe button and hit that like button and leave a comment about what you think, or else. Wait.